And last night, New York Governor Kathy Hochul said she's now considering a historic move, removing the mayor of the largest city in America from office under her powers.
And we are back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. As always, eternally grateful for everybody who clicks on one of our videos, who watches, and especially for you all who touch, tickle, tap, get involved with that like button. Please go ahead and do that right now. You know it helps us out a ton, and it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you this content. Now, y'all, the title and the theme of today's video is that the Democrats eat their own. As you may have heard by now, the New York mayor, Eric Adams, he did not agree with going along with Biden's immigration policy, y'all.
We start tonight with New York City at a potential breaking point. We have been following the story, as you know, for months. Tens of thousands of migrants arriving from Central and South America and West Africa, straining city resources. We got here tonight because of what the mayor said over the last 24 hours, and we want to walk you through all of this. The mayor saying the crisis, quote, will destroy New York City, unleashing his frustrations with a fury we haven't seen before, targeting the White House and governors, busing migrants to sanctuary cities, even calling the Texas governor, Greg Abbott, a madman.
Let me tell you something, New Yorkers.
The migrant crisis taking on a new tone.
Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City.
So as I've been saying for multiple videos now, and I will continue to say, much of what we're going to see unfold in the battle between state governments and the federal government, and also the federal government battling with itself, much of what we are seeing and much of what we are going to continue to see is about immigration. Now, why is that one of the key battle lines? I don't know, frankly. I have no idea of the why, but I do know that it is the case. So Adams decided he was going to speak out against using the city resources to help people who are in the country without permission, right? And in return, he received a lot of criticism and eventually caught a federal case. Now, I know many people will say that the federal case did not have to do directly or even maybe indirectly. They say, no, it has nothing to do with his stance on immigration. But come on, y'all. When I first heard about that case, I'm like, oh, this is some get back. Because all these mayors, all of these governors, there's always some kind of charges you could find on anybody, on any of them. Okay, that's just the way it is. Not saying they're dirty, not saying they're corrupt, not saying they're crooked. I'm just saying there's so many laws and there's so many ways of interpreting that if you want to put charges together, if you want to indict somebody, you can do it. They decided to go after Adams. In my opinion, it seems very clear it's because of his not playing ball on the immigration question. Now that Trump is in office, his administration has decided to not pursue the charges against Adams. Now, this is the interesting thing. Adams is a prominent Democrat mayor. He's a minority. You know, Democrats love their minorities. He's a minority, and you would think that he would have their support of the Democrats. But no, they want him to go down so badly that once Trump decided not to pursue the charges, the Trump administration decided not to pursue the charges, the Democrats started circling around to see how they could put state charges on one of their own people. This is wild, y'all. And because it might be difficult for them to put state charges on him, now they're also looking at how they might be able to fire him from his job, how they could have the governor of the state of New York literally kick him out of the mayorship. This is all despite the fact that he's up for re-election in November. So they can't even wait for the voters to have their say. They being the Democratic the Democrat power brokers. They want the governor of the state to remove Eric Adams as mayor. Let's take a look.
Now to a growing political crisis in the nation's largest city, New York City. Mayor Eric Adams is resisting calls to step down over allegations of a this for that trade-off arrangement with the Trump administration. Adams denies claims he agreed to help enforce President Trump's deportation efforts in exchange for dropping the corruption case against him. That's this and the that. Yesterday, 4 top officials in Adams' administration announced they are resigning over his alleged cooperation with the president. And last night, New York Governor Kathy Hochul said she's now considering a historic move, removing the mayor of the largest city in America from office under her powers. Joining us now is Anna Schechter, who leads a whole team of journalists covering crime and public safety issues for CBS News. Anna, great to have you here. Talk us through Governor Hochul's powers here, what she's considering.
Well, this is unprecedented that a New York State governor would even announce that she's considering this unprecedented move in more than 200 years of history. A governor of New York State has never removed a mayor of New York City from office. She said late last night she's considering that. In fact, she said she's coming to her Manhattan office today to meet with officials to discuss this. She does not take this lightly. She could have said this a week ago when we saw the Department of Justice memo that essentially was saying, hold off, prosecutors, let's drop these charges. Let's wait until after the November election. Remember, Mayor Adams is running for re-election coming up in November. But our reporting indicates she knew that was a big step that could set a precedent for a governor removing a mayor of the country's largest city. And she doesn't do that lightly. They've also been allies over the years. And so she's not taking this lightly. Now she's looking at politics. Is it better politics for her to remove him, given this swell amongst Democrats, her own party, calling for him to resign? Or should she stay the course and allow things to play out? I mean, we just learned that tomorrow Adams is required to appear in court in a hearing that Judge Ho, the federal judge of Manhattan, he just said, you've got to come tomorrow at 2 p.m. So the drama continues to unfold, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
But what does this mean for her politically? Because Eric Adams will be running for re-election in November. She's up in 2026. She needs his voters. Her approval ratings are low. What does this mean for her politically?
Well, it's a really tricky spot, and that's why she's taking her time. There were calls for her to remove him from office now for weeks. I mean, this goes back to September when this indictment came down. It was more than 100 pages of this narrative story of him taking bribes essentially from the Turkish government, going on lavish trips to Istanbul, staying in 5-star hotels. So prosecutors felt they had a strong case, and she did not weigh in. So the fact that she made this announcement last night, this for the first time leads me to believe that she might actually take this unprecedented step.
Might do it.
All right.
Now, all of this comes as the governor, the same governor who's considering removing Mayor Adams, and the New York Attorney General Letitia James, and their head of the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, they are all under scrutiny by the Department of Justice, again, for helping those people who are in the country without permission. Do y'all see how this is all circling around one central issue, one central topic? It's the people who are in the country without permission. Now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to repeat. I don't have a problem with helping people who are in the country without permission. All right. I'm not one of these people. I don't have a problem with deportation either. I mean, I think certain people should be deported. But the fact that we help them is not my issue. It might be your issue, but we can hopefully agree to have different opinions on that. My issue is, why are you using the political capital that your voters gave you and squandering it on this issue? That's where I don't understand. If you fixed all the city's problems, if you fixed all of your state's problems, you don't have potholes in the road, all your kids are fed, all of your women and all your men have gainful employment, and now you say we have a surplus, and out of this surplus, we want to help people get ahead who are not in the country legally. We want to do for them. You know, there are many of you who still say no, but at least you'd be doing it out of a surplus, right? You wouldn't be in a deficit and all of your people would be covered. But for me, you get that political capital to help your citizens. Why spend it on this issue? So now Hochul, the governor of the state of New York, is going to have to decide if she's going to spend her political capital going after the New York City mayor because he didn't agree to spend all of his political capital helping people that the federal government wants to remove from the country, y'all. This is where we are. Anyway, y'all, I would like to know what you have to say. The Democrats are eating their own. I think this is just the beginning. We are going to see more and more of this craziness in this country, right? I'm not calling for it. I'm just predicting it. I'd like to hear what you all have to say. Please drop a comment. Send this, y'all share this video out. Your best friend Susan, your best friend Billy Boy. Send this out to him. Send it out to her. If you are not a subscriber, please do subscribe. Don't forget to like if you haven't already. Thank y'all for watching. Love y'all. We'll see you back in the next one.